Let's rock this out. Here we go. Welcome to the most badass real estate podcast in the entire world.
The Invest, Sell, Repeat podcast with Marcus and not James.
I know, James isn't here. James is out, I think, drinking margaritas and tequila in Mexico. So I think he was really bored yesterday, actually, because he was texting everybody constantly with, like, pictures with him on a sailboat, like jumping over the side, doing shots, having a good time.
Working on his tan.
Yeah, he need one bad, dude. There's like little white cracker out there. I think he got all lobster-fied, though, too. He's like, he texted me last night. He's crispy right now. Crispy, baby. Out in the sun. Ugh. It's bad stuff, dude.
So everyone's day going?
Going good, man. Going good. How's your day going? Hey,
productive and busy.
Here's the real question. How's the beard doing?
Well, it's I think we're almost 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks I have it trimmed up, so about to get groomed.
That's
me.
Me.
Have to go to the groomers. Professional.
Hey, Dave, let me call you back. Okay. Okay, man. This is my contractor. I didn't mean it. Here, let me mute this. There we go. Now we won't have any more interruptions like that. Cool. So welcome, everybody, to the show. The whole point of this show is to educate and get everybody inspired about buying real estate investments. So we're very fortunate today. A local investor here in Kansas City was able to stop by and check out the operation here.
This is my first time, by the way.
Doing a podcast?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's not true, dude. We've done video stuff before.
We've done videos, that's right.
But not like this. Not like the actual studio,
I know.
4K cameras.
Yeah,
there was no beard
fancy
either.
toy.
So the beard's making me nervous.
Didn't have the $500,000 in equipment that we've got, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Actually, I think it was $50, but I mean, whatever. Anyway,
we had the flip.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely, man. Yeah, but so this is Christoph Becker. Oh my God, I totally messed that up, didn't I? We'll have to cut that out of the show. Christoph Becker. Very experienced real estate investor here. We bought a ton of deals from him. He's got a very impressive organization as well. So we're very fortunate to have him on the show here, and just want to spend a few minutes and talk about some different strategies and some things that he's doing that's working right now, and maybe some things that aren't working, right? Because this market changes so quickly. Yeah. You've got to stay on your toes, and you got to stay ahead of the curve. So we're excited to have you. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Absolutely, man.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
So I'm just not going to talk for like 10 minutes and just let you roll, okay? And go.
So woke up.
No, just teasing you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you are a local wholesaler here, right? And you do buy and hold. You've got your own portfolio. You sell to a lot of investors. Like, you do a lot, man. You do a lot. You've got an impressive organization. So let's spend just a minute or two and talk to people about some of the marketing strategies that are working for you, right? In the current market right now.
Yeah. So do a lot of direct mail, similar to you guys.
Sweet.
Do bandit signs. I've got some
love the bandit signs.
Marketing. I was telling you earlier, a lot of referrals going on.
Yep.
Sometimes the referrals are really the best leads that I've been getting here lately. So
absolutely,
and just
man.
kind of building a network basically, and just telling people what you do. And then you just kind of attract deals. So
yeah, you do, man.
Yep.
So Christoph and I haven't connected. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I haven't bought any deals from him in a long time.
Stop buying.
Yeah, I know, dude.
You're working on all this stuff.
What's up with all that crap? Yeah. But we had a good meeting today, man. I think we got a direction going, and we're gonna buy some deals from you.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
So as far as direct mail, man, you when we had our meeting, you were talking about frustration about conversion rate and response rate, and let's set expectations real for people, because
absolutely,
like what everybody sees on TV, man, like they see these flip shows and they see these guys hammering out deals, and they put all these projection numbers up on the screen where they're like, hey, they made $80,000, they made $180,000.
Yeah.
Like our niche market and what we do are mostly rentals here. I mean, we do some flips,
A lot of cheap houses here in Kansas City.
The flips we do are sexy and everything, but there's so many $40,000, $50,000 houses here in the market. And that's like, if you want to do a lot of deals in Kansas City, that you're going to be in that space.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's talk about direct mail just for a minute, because that's a huge source of our leads right now. Let's talk about like how many mailers that you've got to send out, and like in not conversion rate, but like response rate, and how many deals you're getting locked up.
Yeah, so I actually just was doing some numbers on that, and I thought I was getting a lot more response than I actually am. I send out about 8,000 a month, which, compared to some, not that many.
Right.
But I mean, it's enough to keep me busy, my team busy. And I'm only getting about a 1-2% response rate off that, which I was really surprised. Like, I thought my phones were ringing a lot more. I'm going nuts over here, trying to keep up with that. But it's like, that's kind of a low number. I really felt like I was at 4 or 5%.
Right.
So, and then out of that, it's just a matter of trying to manage those leads and just being good at filtering out those leads and trying to find the good ones that are going to work,
It is, man.
So,
I compare the wholesale business to gold mining, man. And
I
totally love this analogy. It really dawned on me after watching Gold Rush.
Yeah.
Have you seen that show where the guys?
You're painting for leads, right?
Yeah, they are, dude. Like, they go up the Yukon and they've got they don't do. I think they still use pans and stuff, but like they use huge earth moving equipment, man.
Yeah.
So what do? They'll find a place where they think that the gold is at, and they'll dig these massive holes, right? They'll dig these big holes until they hit pay dirt, to where like there's a bunch of gold there. It's all mixed in with the dirt and the rocks and everything. And what they'll do is they'll take that, they'll dig it out, right? And they'll pile it up by their sleuth box. Remember seeing that?
Yeah.
Then
I love that show.
So they've got the big pile of pay dirt, is what they call it, man. And that's what we do. We send out tons of marketing, right? Thousands and thousands of letters and bandit signs and building up our network. I love what you had to say about network, man.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the number one things that you could do to generate sellers and buyers, is building up network. You got to be doing it constantly.
Appointment in North KC I had before, realtor referral, we'll probably make 20 grand on that.
Sweet.
Yeah. He didn't want to list
Hell
the property.
yeah.
And he's not going to make that much by listing that property, so he calls somebody up that he doesn't really know how to put a wholesale deal together.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude,
hey, call in the experts then.
Yeah. We'll get this for like 40. We could probably sell it for 60. So
I love
there's
it, dude.
good checks like that in Kansas City too.
There are, man.
So on the wholesale side.
Absolutely.
Sure, yep.
Yeah, we just bought one for 18. No, we had some additional costs involved in that. I think we were into it for 22 and sold it for 57.
I heard about that one. That was a nice one, man.
That was a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good little return on your investment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so back to the Gold Rush illustration. Yeah, so you have this pay dirt, and then they would dump pay dirt into the sleuth box, and what it does is it vibrates it, and it shakes it, and it kicks out the boulders and kicks out the limbs, and like it runs water over it, right? And by the time it gets to the bottom, you got these little pans that are just full with this beautiful little, yellow gold. And that's really what we're doing, man. Like it takes an enormous amount of time and energy and resources to sift through all of those leads. So we, like in our call center now, we have hundreds of leads coming in every day, and managing those and keeping track of those. Like if even one of them falls through the cracks, like Christoph said, man, that could be $20K. That could be $20,000 that you're missing just because you didn't enter the lead correctly, or you didn't follow up when you were supposed to. Like there's so many things on the back end in this company that not in this company, but in this industry that you've got to have down pat.
Yeah.
And I can say, as far as we go, I know we've got that down really good. Follow up is like number one. So important too. Like a lot of people don't do that too, right? Because think about it. So you talk to somebody that calls in off of one of your marketing pieces, and they don't seem to be that motivated, doesn't seem to be that good of a deal, and so it's easy to think, why would I follow up with that guy? Like he's wanting twice what I can offer him, and it's just it's frustrating, right? But we're literally buying deals from people that we talked to 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago.
Yeah, the motivation changes.
Totally changes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Timing. Yep.
We just bought a deal from a gentleman who was moving into a retirement home, and he was wanting twice what we could pay. And the thing is, and this was like a 12-month period, and we kept following up with him. Finally, when the closer it got to him moving, the more motivated he got. So we were able to buy it.
The price kind of keeps coming down.
Price kept coming down.
Yeah.
Finally, we're able to make a deal with him. I can remember that too. So we did the deal. We bought the property from him, and he called me up a couple days later and said, "Hey, Marcus, have you started construction on that?" And I go, "Yeah, my guys are over there." And he's like freaking out. He goes, "Dude, I've got a thing for my pacemaker. It's like like a $3,000 machine that I don't know. I don't know if it was like to charge the pacemaker or what it was, but it like something he needed. And I'm like, dude, don't worry. I'll go over there. I'll check it out. Fortunately, I was able to find that thing in the back bedroom, tucked up in a box. I think I lost something. Test.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, you know what? I lost my my headphones.
Oh, can you hear yourself for a second?
Can you hear me?
I can still hear you great.
Yeah.
Yeah, my headphones.
You're fine on every end.
It just sounds weird on my end. Yeah, fortunately, we were able to get that back to him, and I can remember went and picked it up, drove to the retirement home where he was at, and like he was sitting out there waiting for me with a $10 bill in his hand, crying.
Oh man, yeah.
It really touched me too.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, no, dude, I don't need your $10. I'm fine. But he like, you take it. So I took his $10 just so he'd feel better.
Yeah.
And he like, it was a very moving moment. So
Well, that's the thing about this, entire industry is that you're dealing with people, and you're dealing with people and at their most intimate time. I mean, times of need where these are their homes, and they're
lots of emotions.
There's lots of emotions and lots of money involved and lots of big decisions. So like you really are entering a big part of their life. You know what I mean?
You think about it, most of the people that we deal with, that home that you're buying from is probably the biggest investment that they'd ever make, So, yeah, it is a lot of money,
There's a lot of trust in there, too.
A lot of, especially if they grew up in the property. Yeah, every time they go in, they think about when they were kids, and it's full of mom and dad's stuff.
Right.
And
Well, on that topic, I think, too, one thing I've realized here lately is that you have to be patient when you're talking to that person that's in that situation. A lot of times in sales, we kind of get in a hurry, and we're kind of thinking about the dollar.
You want to make that
thinking
deal.
about the sale.
Yeah.
And I got to catch myself sometimes, because I know a lot of the other people that they may be talking to, too, they could be pushy, maybe not that sincere. But I actually had somebody kind of compliment me. I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I was being patient. She caught me in a good mood. I'm not always that patient, but I was with her. And it got me to thinking, though. It's like, you know what? I have to make a point to be patient with people and just kind of think about where their situation is.
Right.
So,
well, that's the thing, too. Like, since I've been here for about 3 months, and that's the thing, like I've noticed with Marcus, like you enter situations where these people are at a lot of times where they have to tell you some really intimate things about their finances or the situations that they're in. Like it really is like a very vulnerable state, and it's like I said, it's a very human experience. It's not only just business, but there's a huge human side to it.
Totally, man. Yep. Yeah, they have to talk about some of the bad decisions that they've made, or bad decisions that a family member's made, and that's why they have to sell.
You've also
It's
got to
tough.
be able to kind of cut them off sometimes, too. Those stories get a little lengthy.
Yeah.
That is so.
You don't want to open up a can of worms and ask about this over here, and then next thing you know, it's an hour later. So, but
Yep. Yeah, another deal you could have locked up while they're sitting there
exactly.
talking about backed up toilets or something.
yeah.
We
So-
do have in the call center, we do have a 3-minute policy. So when somebody calls in, 3
that.
minutes. So you should be able to know whether or not you could make a deal in 3 minutes by asking the right questions and jumping to it. On the same hand, too, if somebody does feel like they need to get something off their chest, like we've given them permission to, because we do want to have them to have that. We want them to have that human touch,
Right,
and
exactly.
be able
Kind
to
of build
connect with
rapport,
people.
if you will. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, it is important.
Yep.
And you'll do more deals because of it. Boy, this thing is jumping around all over the place in my ear.
That's odd. We'll have to check it out. I think it's because it's now under the table.
It's probably because I scooted everything over.
Figured out. But anyway,
Okay, cool. So we talked about direct mail. So do the math on that. So if you send out 5,000 mailers, you're going to get, if you do a 1.5%, what is that? That's like 75, 80 phone calls.
Yeah.
Right? And then out of that, those 75 or 80 phone calls, you're going to get 1 to 2 deals.
Yeah.
So it's not impressive at all when you start looking at those numbers. But what it does is, for me anyway, it sets expectations right. So you can totally work that backwards. So how many deals do you want to do a month?
Exactly.
Do you want to do 10 deals a month?
Then you got to have your marketing.
You know exactly how many direct mailers you need to be sending out.
Yep.
Right? So I've always been a big proponent too with having multiple marketing strategies out, because they don't all work consistently all the time. Like no marketing does. I've noticed a significant drop in our call volume from our direct mails, I would say within the last 30 days. Before that, like we were getting hammered.
I think a lot of people are doing direct mail in our market too, because I'm feeling the same thing.
Yep.
So I
It
think
could
there's
be
a lot of competition.
Oversaturation.
Yeah. Yep.
We do have a lot of people calling in and say, you know what, I've got 1 million postcards, and I just happened to call yours. So you know if it's happening to us,
Yeah.
it's happening to everybody else too,
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
So my big marketing things that I love for real estate investing when you're trying to find deals, direct mail is probably number one. Bandit signs, baby. They still.
You guys do bandit signs now,
we
too?
do, yeah. A few.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I'm doing a few.
Yeah.
Here and there.
I got big trouble from the city.
Yeah. Me too. I was there. Every real estate investor in the city was there.
When was that?
day.
Like 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
crazy.
do about 30 a week.
They're
I feel like
coming
there's
back
a story
now.
there though.
Oh, there's a huge story. Yeah.
there
It was,
is.
I think it was front page actually. No.
Big story, man.
But
Yeah, the story is we got a new mayor.
yeah, and he came in and decided to start finding everybody.
He did, man.
That's what it was. It's all Sly James's fault, man.
It is Sly James.
That's it.
I just chalked it up to a huge marketing fee at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, is we just got a property locked up from a bandit sign, though, too.
Yeah. You know, they're
So
coming
they totally
back.
work.
You start seeing them out again. So I mean, I think people are doing them. I know we do them a little bit, so
Yep.
it's working. I want to do more of them actually. So
Yep.
yeah.
I've got an intern that goes out once a week and puts out bandit signs and then marketing signs for all of our deals that
I
we
see
have.
the for rent signs you guys have a lot. I see
It
those
is
all
for
over
rent
too.
too. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we probably put overall probably 80 to 90 signs out a week.
Well, that's cool.
It's
Yeah.
a lot, but that's out
Yeah.
for all the companies that we have here. Like if you don't have a big marketing budget, bandit signs are the best thing to do,
Yeah.
man. Get you some blank signs. You can order them off the internet and handwrite those bad boys and just go plan them out too.
Yep.
It works really well. Like Christoph said, referrals, man. Referrals, like I can't say that enough. It's so important to get out there and just let people know what you're doing. Some of the best deals that I've done have been referral deals. Something, I did a deal with somebody. They were happy with the way that I treated them. They were happy with the closing process and the way that we handled everything. I do what I say I'm going to do. That's another important thing in this business, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that are trying to get deals and do deals and just letting shit fall through the cracks. And it gives all of us, all us good people out there, us reputable business owners, a bad name. So do what you say you're going to do, man. It's really that simple. If you're going to close a deal, you tell somebody you're going to close on this date, close on that date.
Yeah. I've actually bought houses because I didn't have them wholesaled, but I still felt like it could be a deal, and I wanted to follow through on what I contract said with the seller. So
Yep, we do that all the time.
yeah. And then I'll turn
Absolutely.
that into profit. You can rehab the house, resell it so you can add value, but yeah.
Absolutely. See, one other marketing strategy. What else do I like? Bandit signs, direct mail,
Internet.
and internet.
Yeah. Google
S-
AdWords.
Yeah, so we've been doing Google AdWords for, I think,
2 months now.
about 60 days.
Yeah.
It seems about right.
I mean, that takes a while to put together because there is a lot of filtering. There's a lot of testing certain keywords and Google phrases
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. It takes a while to get off the ground, but it's the future. I mean, there's a reason why it's such a hot industry. That's literally what those guys do: is sit around all day just testing individual words for hours upon hours. It's the new thing.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely have to have a bigger budget. You got to be able to put some money into it, and you have to. He's talking about patience. You got to have patience with it. I think some markets are probably better than others, but what I've experienced in the Kansas City market, and I've talked to Christoph about it. I've talked to several other people too. It's very hit or miss.
I think it's worth the investment, though. One thing I've thought about is, sometimes I question it, but if I look at the big picture, I've made profit in doing it. And you never know. If you stop doing it 1 month, you might miss out on that big deal.
Exactly.
Though, so you just got to stick with it for sure.
Absolutely, man.
I don't think our cost per lead is really that high in this market either. So we're
not
good. We
Yep.
don't have as much competition as some of the bigger
No.
markets. So.
That's the one thing about Kansas City, but that's going to change because it's not.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
well,
know
it's
a lot
it's
of
not just a
other
lot of people
people.
from Kansas City. It's
Yeah.
people from San Francisco. All over the world, really. This is an up and coming market,
Yeah.
and they're seeing that. They're seeing the prices, and they're seeing the potential. And they're gonna, it's much harder to invest in a city like San Francisco or in LA
Oh,
than
yeah.
it is to, leave your own. You could still live there, but come to another market and then do some investing. There's a
Yeah.
lot more return on that.
Have a lot of investors that are doing that exact thing.
Just
Yep.
homes here are very affordable, and you could get great rents.
Right.
That's what I like. That's That's it.
That's the huge sales point
Yeah.
about Kansas City.
I mean, there's all this other stuff you could say too, but I feel
Well,
like
it's
that's
very
what draws
business
people
friendly
here.
too. If you
Yeah,
want to set an
absolutely.
LLC
Yeah.
up here, super easy to do. Taxes are cheap. That's
Yeah.
another huge advantage too, man. Like
Yep.
so, We'll pitch deals to investors that come in there like, you're telling me taxes are
$400
$400 a year. He's like, no.
Yeah.
He goes, there's a typo here. I'm like, no, dude, that's
Yeah.
true. That's legit.
Yeah.
And then I get a lot of people concerned too. Well, what if I buy it and the property gets fixed up?
Yeah.
Are they going to come and reassess it? And I was like, hey, I've rehabbed hundreds of houses. I've done thousands of deals here, and I've never had one reassessed and the taxes go up astronomically. It doesn't happen, man. They're cheap. They're just cheap. Cool. So let's go ahead and wrap it up here. I appreciate you guys watching the show. I appreciate Christoph stopping by.
Man. Thanks for having me. This has been fun.
Absolutely,
sure.
dude. Absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks for stopping in, man.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you too, Josh.
Absolutely.
Cool. We'll see you guys on the next show.
All right. Adios.